Hey, if this is your first time, I'm Kyle, and I'm one half.
Oh, wait. And I'm Michelle, and we're
We're
the
the
Wandering
Haunting Shores.
Shores.
So today we're doing a campsite review of the Lewis and Clark National Forest. We've got a very inexpensive national forest campground to share with you, along with some boondocking sites. We actually decided to film the intro here at the top of this amazing hike that's only about 35 minutes from the area. It's in the Bob Marshall Wilderness area, and this is called Our Lake. It's about a 3-mile hike, 3.5-mile hike up to the top here with about 1,500 feet of elevation, but we're going to have that in another video. You're here because you want to know about the boondocking available in a Lewis and Clark and all the resources available in the area. So here we go. We just turned left off of Teton Canyon Road and we're heading back towards Cave Mountain Campground here in the National Forest area, Lewis and Clark. And we're going to cross this bridge. You can see the limits there: 20 tons, 32 tons, and 40 tons. I don't think most RVs are going to have a concern with that unless you happen to be switch it up. As you come across the road here, heading back towards the campground, you're going to see a little road here off to the side. There is 2 really good boondocking spots. Let me roll down my window. If you can get through that narrow little entrance right there. However, I will say there is a large fifth wheel back there, and it didn't look like it was all torn up. It was in really good condition. So I'm going to come back to those spots when we talk about the boondocking that's available in the area. But we're going to first take you into the campground. This is a National Forest campground here in Lewis and Clark, and it is $10 per night, or if you have the senior or access pass, it is $5 per night. There are 14 sites. All of them are back in except for one pull-through. Pull-through site number 13 is extremely long. You know, it's actually, I thought it was a road, it's so long. But there is this little bridge here, so you got to be cautious there. And the road is a little rough right here, so you just got to take your time. But after you get into the campground, you will find water resources. It is a hand pump water spigot right around site number 5 or 6, I think. But there is water available if you need it, and you can fill it up in a jug. You're not going to attach your RV to it and hand pump it. You'll lose all the use of your arm after trying to pump that much water into it. I was just trying to get it running, and it was pretty difficult. Cave Mountain Campground here on the right. So we're going to pull in and show you a drive through the area. As you can tell, this is the middle of July 2025, and it is pretty busy. First come, first serve. There's the pay station there. There is an Iron Ranger. You can write a check or put cash. I do not think you can use credit card. And you'll start to see the campsites along the sides here. They are fairly long, so most people can get a decent sized travel trailer. You could get a Class A back here if you needed to. I haven't seen one back here, and that could be a function of just driving on the main road. I'm going to try to go slow and not scare the heck out of these people walking their dog. There are 2 pit toilets. There was one up near the entrance, and then this one kind of by site number 8. Large fifth wheel Cougar here on the left. So again, sites are big enough for most any size rig. Here is the pull-through site, which you can access coming around from the other side. That's site 13. This is a little loop at the end, and you will see we are on the very last site, which is site 14. There is a little trail right there leading down to the water. We actually haven't walked down there yet, but here we are back tucked in the back corner. So we're going to take you inside also and show you some of the resources that are available in the area. There aren't a lot, but you're really remote out here. And we're also going to take you in and show you some of the boondocking sites on an aerial overview, as well as feet on the ground, because we did some videos for you. You enjoy free camping and boondocking across the United States? Well, we've got a lot more for you. If you haven't already, checked out thewanderingshores.com, and we have an interactive Google map there where you can see all of the spots we've done campsite reviews of, as well as things to do in the area. Welcome inside, everyone. I want to go through some of the free and very inexpensive camping options outside of Choteau, Montana. And so, for a point of reference, there is Montana. We just finished up last week a video here for the area near Canyon Ferry Reservoir, but now we're zooming in a little bit north of there near Choteau, Montana, and we're going over here to the Lewis and Clark National Forest. So as we showed you in some of the previous video clips and in the video clips I'm going to show you now, there are some very good options here in the area if you're patient. Now, as you're driving in, we already talked about that. You're coming in on, let me zoom in here so we get the North Fork Teton River Road, I think is what it's called. And as we came in, we're going to find, right over here, you're going to find Cave Mountain Campground. This is the one that we started the video with, and I'm going to quickly show you that. You can kind of see, obviously, there's a lot of tree cover, but this is the National Forest Campground. It's $10 per night. There is a hand pump and for water between, I think, around Site 6, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, it might be 7 because it's on the right-hand side of the road. Between 7 and 9, or somewhere in that general area. There is a loop here that you can turn around in, and we did choose this spot right here, which is the last numbered spot, which is number 14. So that is where Cave Mountain is. Now, from the main road out near Choteau, let me go back out here. Ooh. This is right out here from 89. This is about a 25-mile drive, and 20 miles of it is paved, and then the last 4 or 5 miles becomes dirt, and most of it is fairly well maintained. But as you get closer to the campground and these boondocking sites, it does get a little bit rough, so just be advised. And I've shown you some of that in the video already. Now, the 2 spots that I highlighted in the dispersed area, let's look here. These are free spots, not to be confused with the camp spot there at Cave Mountain. Right as you're driving in and you're going towards Cave Mountain Campground, you're going to see a little turnoff here to what would be your left. There is a boondocking site right there and a boondocking site right there. The only real obstacle is this area right here. Is kind of thin, and so you might get a little bit of pinstriping if you're not careful going through there, but there was a very large fifth wheel parked there, and as you can see in this video, I don't know if those look like maybe horse trailers, so that might not be a perfect example, but there is camping. 2 very nice spots right there. As you continue down out on the main road, let me go back to this layer. As you continue out on the main road, you're going to come to a few other boondocking areas. There are not a lot out here, folks, but let me show you this one. I'm going to stop right now. I'm going to insert the video of this camping area to give you an idea of what this dispersed spot looks like. So if you're coming up from Choteau, you're going to be coming from that direction, and here is what we're referring to as spot number 3. A fairly nice spot right here off the side of the road with a nice flat area. It's real gradual. I know it's kind of hard sometimes to tell on camera, but the fire pit is right over there. It's pretty gradual and rocky right here. You can kind of see the entrance. Would be super easy for just about any rig to get into, if you can handle the road driving in. That's the real issue about this entire area. All right, welcome back. Let me go a little bit further down the road and show you one more. And this is another boondocking area. I'm going to stop now and insert the video so that you can see this boondocking area. Wanted to show you this great spot that we found here along the road. As you can see, tons of space and a fire pit. You know, there's easy spots to find a level. Over there, it's hard to tell, but over there it gets kind of uneven, so you're looking at probably like right there or anywhere right here or right there. Obviously there's where the fire pit is. There's a little road that goes back there. It's more like a ATV road. I would not suggest trying to drive back there, but you just never know. Hopefully somebody wouldn't come and kind of drive through your campsite. But there's the truck. We're actually headed out, so we just went all the way up the top of the mountain where Teton Pass Ski Resort is, and we are heading back down. I wanted to stop and get a view of this spot as well as several of the other ones along the way that we found. All right, so those are really the 4 main boondocking areas that we found besides the campground. And I don't know if I had mentioned this in the video segment that I did, but this area back here, as you're coming in, you take a right-hand turn and go into Cave Mountain Campground. This area back here is the horse campground. When we were there, there was 1 horse trailer and 2 small RVs sharing a site. So I believe legally campers can park back here in the horse area, but obviously I think the horsemen would prefer that you park in the camping area. But there is a few other spots back here with like tie down bars for the horses, as well as feeding troughs. So, but there is some camping back there. Now let's talk about resources available in the area. This is going to be limited, folks, and really your only options are going to be back in Choteau. So let me zoom back out here and scroll over. I've got a few things marked here. So first and foremost, your closest gas station to the boondocking and the campground is going to be this Choteau, and it's got a few spots that you can get into. Let me see if there's a image. Yeah, let me drag this little guy and drop him right here. I'll show you what that looks like. Let me turn it around. So if you're in a big rig, you're really going to have to use this outer one so that you can turn, in hopes that that blue tanker truck is not still parked there. But yeah, that's going to be really your only option with a big rig, because this turn, especially if there's traffic here or parked cars, you're going to have a real hard time with. So let me get back out of this. I got to remember how to do that. Oh, no, okay, that's not it. Oh, there we go. Let me back out. So that is, there we go. That is the closest gas station, which is that Conoco/Canoco. Grocery store, Rex's Market, actually a fairly nice grocery store. Michelle and I went there, and they pretty much have all the staples that you're going to need. There is a 24-hour laundromat right here. And again, I'm going to put all these links in the video description so that you can have very easily access and save that information. That is there. And then when it comes to dump, the only real option here at the Choteau City Park, and the picture is not great here, but there is back here behind the city park. Okay, so this is the GPS location for the city park. However, on the side, right over here, this is actually camping. There is camping spots back here. They are, I believe, $10 a night, and there is a dump station and water there, and I believe it's $5. I don't know if it's $5 each or $5. We didn't use it because we were only in the area for about 3 days. But there is a dump station, and it's basically, I think, oh, maybe I can actually see it. Yep, there's the water right there, and I think the dump might be right here on the ground, somewhere behind this tree. But that's basically where it is. You can see the water. You can pull in from the back here and access the dump station right there, as well as get water for $5, I think. And there's a pay box there, whether you're staying there as a camping option or if you're staying there just to use the dump. And then I think that is it. There is a post office in Choteau if you want to do any general deliveries. There are no Amazon lockers in the area, and there is an Ace Hardware for all of your needs. I can't remember if they have propane or not, so definitely want to look at iOverlander and call around. But if you have any questions, put them in the comments. If you really enjoyed this video and want to send us a little thank you, maybe a little Diet Mountain Dew or a coffee, we're going to put the Venmo QR code here in the corner. We'd love, and I really appreciate any little thank you that you might want to send. Also, check out thewanderingshores.com. We have an interactive map with all of our boondocking sites. There's over 120 now, and we've been doing this, and we will continue to put out this content for the foreseeable future. And if you like it, thumbs up, hit the notification bell, and if we really earned it, hit the subscribe button if you don't already. And we will see you next week. Thanks, everyone.